And now it's a different time. The world's completely different now. Then gay was not as open and like kosher and comfortable in the world and like except, but like that, you know what I mean? That is that hardens you, I swear. Because this generation now has it so good. Everybody's offended over everything. Like someone standing on the counter calling me a like, yes, I'm offended and I'm going to show you by beating your face in. But if you want to be like some internet troll and call me like a pussy, like that's not offensive. That's idiotic. Or like if someone addresses me and they call me miss instead of sir, nigga, I don't give a I'm not offended by that. You know what I mean? That's not what offends me. Like the real raw is what offends me. I was gonna do my blue contacts that you always see me in, but I feel like that just be too much blue going on. What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. We've got a good one today. We've got a story time. This is a story time I've been wanting to do for a while. I just haven't. If you guys do like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. You guys know what to do. This happened so long ago. I want to say it happened back in, I'd say like 2012, 2013. This was when I was living in San Diego. I was working at Big Five Sporting Goods, which is like funny because I actually would wear like outfits like this. This is what they would have us wear at Big Five Sporting Goods. So it was outfits like this. So this is the Keg and Bottle story time. And if you don't know what Keg and Bottle is, it was a liquor store. I don't know if they're still there, probably. It was a liquor store that actually was right across the street from Big Five Sporting Goods. I had been working at Big Five for about, I wanna say 7, 8-ish months when this had happened. When I was working at Big Five Sporting Goods, Keg and Bottle, again, right across the street, is where I would go to go cash my check. I also smoked cigarettes at the time. Smoking's bad for your health and vaping, so if you do that, knock it off. So I would go there for my cigarettes, like energy drinks, and to cash my checks. There was a guy there, I can't remember his name. He was one of the clerks there or whatever. It's so funny talking about this because it's like pissing me off all over again. He would always which is a common theme for people to poke fun at me, whether it's because I'm black or because I'm gay. Like, I have 2 X's on my back and I know that. After time, you know, in this world, your skin gets thicker and mine's pretty thick now. It's still some things are still hurtful. For the most part with this guy, I would play it off. Like he would always say this dumb gay shit. I would just let it roll off my shoulder, whatever, right? This day, I didn't let it roll off my shoulder. Every time I would come in, not every time, some days were better than others, but most of the time when I was going in there, I expected to hear some crude gay remark. It would never be racial or anything like that because he was, I want to say Afghanistan, Pakistan, something like that. So that sounded racist. He was whatever race he was. So it was never really a thing about race. It was more so about gay. And I know it's because he had deep-rooted gay. That's a common thing, you know what I mean? So I don't really care, but again, this day I did care. So I'll set the scene for you. Me and this guy had rapport, and I knew who he was, but I wasn't fond of him. My coworkers wanted to go to the strip club, and so I was down for it. I have friends who were in the industry, so it wasn't really a big deal going to strip clubs now that were just topless. Now this strip club that we were gonna go to this night was a full nude strip club. If you didn't realize, I am gay. So the thought of the full nude strip club was really nerve-wracking and very intimidating for me. What I did is I proceeded to get blacked out drunk before we went to the strip club so that I wasn't as nervous about going to the full nude strip club and seeing Jennifer's lips on stage. You know what I mean? We go to Keg and Bottle because I wanted to cash my check. And so again, I cash my check here all the time. So it's nothing but routine to go in there. And now, mind you, every time I go in there, this guy has something to say, and it's always around me being gay or some dumb little crude like gay remark or whatever, right? So I go in there and I'm pretty toasty by that point. I put my check on the counter. It's like, hey, I want to cash my check, and I start with him and like bantering back and forth with him. As we were talking, he said like some crude gay remark, which he always says this stuff to me. But this time I was annoyed by it. I wasn't having it. I wasn't on the clock, because usually when I'm going over there, I'm like on the clock, like, or I'm just getting off of work. You know what I mean? So now this time that I go in, like I'm drunk, I don't give a and so he says this crude gay remark, and I say something back. I cannot, for the life of me, remember what I had said to him, but I knew it was hurtful, and it was something that he like resonated with, and it was about like being gay or whatever, like him being secretly like a gay, like I can't remember saying it and seeing like the look on his face, like I had struck a nerve. And this is where I was in the wrong, because after that I was like, you always say gay, crude remarks to me. So like the one time I say something to you, like you're gonna get upset, because I never say anything to him, because I'm just getting off of work or I'm on my lunch break. Like I never say anything rude back. And now that I say something rude back, you're gonna get pissed off. This is where I was in the wrong. And so I grabbed a pen that was on the counter and I toss it at him, and I'm like jokingly, but like it was like wrong time, because he was literally livid. I toss it at him and I'm like, you're really gonna be pissed off at me? And like he has this death glare looking at me, and he's like, don't you ever throw anything at me. I was like, hold the up. Are you kidding me? Every time I come in here, I'm taking hits from you, saying whatever gay want to say that's like crude and offensive, and like you're at work. Like I don't talk to people like that when I'm at work, so I don't understand why it's okay for you. We're going at each other's throats, like we're screaming. Now mind you, the whole time this is happening, my check is this is the reason I'm here. The check is still sitting on the counter, and we are just screaming at each other, going back and forth. I really wish I got the video footage of this night, because it was insane. Like in nothing in this world, I don't think I'll ever have a world star moment like that ever again. We're going at each other's throats. There's like a line forming behind me. We're inside of the liquor store. And so there's a line that's starting to form behind me. And then he gets up on the counter and he calls me a and I lose it. I instantly see red, and I pull him off of the counter. It is so crazy. Like this all legit happened. What are you doing standing on the counter cussing at customers? Like, you know how many times I want to stand on the counter and cuss out people at work? Like this was when I was working retail. You know I want to square up with somebody like that, and I can't do it because I'm at work, and you're gonna square up with me and call me. And so I swing to pull his legs from under him, and he dodges it and he jumps down where I'm at, and he squares up with me, and I square up with him. And I'm like, let's go. And then I go and I catch him once in the jaw, and then he swings, but he misses me. Go back, catch him in his jaw again, and then he kicked me. And like, I was wearing my favorite vest at the time. Like, loved this vest. It was my going out, like, San Diego downtown felt cute vest, and he kicked it and ripped the buttons off the vest. And now, also in that same motion, I'm getting kicked back, and I like hit a bottle rack, and so now bottles are breaking in the store. People behind us are telling us to like figure it the out, and we both stop and we're like, shut the up. This isn't about you. Like, it was insane. World star moment. It will never happen again. I am so upset that moment. It was before the age of like Snapchatting every little thing, so none of my friends like pulled out their phone to like Snapchat it really quick, because that should have been Snapchatted, nigga. And also in the same motion of him kicking and ripping my vest, my watch also broke, which pretty sure I bought that watch for like $12 at like some swap meet or whatever, so not a big deal. Was still really upset by it, and then someone told me that the cops were on the way, and I was like, okay, and like this mother started it. I'm at his place of business. He's trying to fight me and call me like, I wish they would come. And in the motion of me leaving, before I called him I literally one swift motion right after they told us like cops are on their way, blah, blah, blah. I grabbed my check, which is so insane because I was so angry and so like, it was just heat of the moment. And with all of that like going on, I like managed to like take the 5 seconds to be like, oh yeah, the reason I came here was to cash my check. It's like literally snatched my check off the counter on my way out. It was insane. I really wish I had video footage. I wish that I like knew people. I didn't have enough connections to where I really wanted to like try to start a lawsuit is like paying out the ass for a lawyer, but I really wish that like now with my job I have lawyers, you know what I mean? So I could have gone to one of the lawyers and been like, hey, like this event happened, like can I get compensation for the way that I was treated from this establishment? You know what I mean? But I was young and dumb and I was just like, whatever. Like it was just like, write it off as like a dumb drug night. But it was so annoying because that was the spot I always went to cash my check. And so now I'm like, okay, it's annoying. I can't just go across the street and cash my check when I get it. Cigarettes wise, I would have to go to another store that's like further than just walking right across the street. But I really wanted to stand my ground. Like, you know, I have been called a fluently for my whole entire lifetime. At then I was, you know, I wasn't as grown as I am now, but I thought I was grown. But I definitely was comfortable in my skin. There's no way that you're gonna be able to call me and I'm not gonna show you what. And I've always, like, I've grown to have that mentality. Something that I wish that I had when I was in high school because I would just like go home and cry about it, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is the cake and bottle story. I was inspired to do this story time because my best friend Haley, we were just like talking and and she had brought up this story and it's so funny because it like I forget that really was a thing. She brought it up and I was like, oh my god, like girl, I have not thought about that in forever. I shouldn't have gone in there so angsty about I know some people don't understand and now it's a different time, you know what I mean? The world's completely different now. Then gay was not as open and like kosher and comfortable in the world, but like that, you know what I mean? That is the that hardens you, I swear, because this generation now has it so good. Everybody's offended over everything. Like someone standing on the counter and calling me a like, yes, I'm offended and I'm going to show you by beating your face in. But if you want to be like some internet troll and call me like a pussy, like that's not offensive. That's idiotic. Or like if someone addresses me and they call me miss instead of sir, nigga, I don't give a I'm not offended by that. You know what I mean? That's not what offends me. Like the real raw, that is what offends me, you know. Whatever. It's so funny. I'm so riled up all over again. It's funny. It's funny to like think about now, but that time, in that moment, I was really upset. Not only that he, you know, called me a but every day you always say some dumb gay to me. And I pretend like it's funny. You're not funny. But yeah, if you guys like this story time, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. I can't believe I haven't told this story. I think everybody deserves to have one world star moment, and that was my world star moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, stay cutthroat. All right, bye guys.